after menopause, Black women are 50% more likely to experience an increase of body fat than any other group of women. That means half of us will have gained at least 10 pounds once we're postmenopausal. If we continue with eating habits that work against fat loss, we'll gain even more. There is so much information about the importance of a balanced diet and mindful eating habits, but one aspect that is often overlooked is the timing of our last meals. A set eating window, which contains the amount of hours we schedule to eat each day, is very important. But what is just as important is the actual time of our last meal, and in particular, the time between our last meal and the time we go to bed. If we don't leave enough time between our last meal and our bedtime, we increase our chances of gaining fat. So I want to share the reasons why and provide practical tips to help you avoid it. My name is Jennifer Lipscomb. I am a fat loss nutrition coach, and I help Black menopausal women with a sweet tooth lose fat on a fully or partly plant-based diet without skipping dessert. So I know how easy it is to get hooked on snacking. My daily challenge is avoiding snacks in the evenings while watching Netflix, just keeping it real. In my experience, 1 or 2 unplanned eating episodes during the week are fine, but anything more easily leads to more fat. Why? Because eating in the evening works against our circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is our internal biological clock, and it regulates our sleep patterns, our hormone production, our body temperature, and a number of other body functions. Melatonin plays a crucial part in our circadian rhythm because it helps to regulate our sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin levels rise in the evening as darkness sets in, and it promotes sleepiness. Melatonin levels go down in the morning when we're exposed to bright light like the sun, and it signals our body to stay awake and be alert. And because melatonin is responsible for our sleep-wake cycles, it determines when our body prepares to slow down or speed up metabolic processes, including energy expenditure, the breakdown of glucose, and hormone regulation, such as those hormones that affect our appetite and our hunger. Any metabolic disturbances can not only lead to obesity, but they can also lead to diabetes and metabolic syndrome. And these chronic diseases make it very challenging to maintain a healthy weight. Here are 3 ways eating late at night can contribute to metabolic disturbances and disrupt our eating habits. The first way is through a slower metabolism. As the day winds down, our metabolic rate naturally slows down in preparation for rest. And eating a meal or a snack in the last hour before bed can result in fewer calories being burned off. Our body's ability to metabolize food decreases during this time. The second way is through disrupted sleep quality. Digesting a large amount of food can cause indigestion. It can cause acid reflux, and it leaves you feeling full and makes it very challenging to sleep. And quality sleep is essential for weight management because it helps regulate hormones involved in appetite control. If we don't get good quality sleep, we're likely to make poor food choices on the next day. The third way is through hormonal imbalance. Late night eating can alter the natural balance of hormones evolved in regulating appetite, such as leptin and ghrelin. This hormonal imbalance can increase hunger and cravings on the next day, potentially leading to overeating and eventually weight gain. So how do we avoid late night eating? Here are 5 tips. The first way is to establish a regular meal schedule. Plan your meals and your snacks throughout the day, ensuring a satisfying dinner that keeps you full until bedtime. Your last meal should be scheduled 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. So If you're scheduled to go to bed at 10 p.m., then your last meal should be no later than 8 p.m. If you've eaten a balanced meal, you should be relatively full and have less of an urge to eat or snack before going to bed. The second way to avoid late night eating is to choose a balanced dinner. Opt for meals that include enough protein, whole grains, and a variety of vegetables, because this combination of food keeps you feeling fuller longer, and it reduces the temptation to reach for unhealthy snacks before bed. In my free mini course, I describe how to build a healthy plate and make quality desserts to ensure fullness and appetite control. To join, simply comment below mini course, or you can click the course link in the description notes. The third way to avoid late night eating is to practice mindful eating. Slow down and savor each bite during dinner. Eating slowly allows your brain to recognize feelings of fullness, and it prevents overeating. The fourth tip is to stay hydrated. Sometimes late night cravings can stem actually from dehydration. So before reaching for any food, drink a glass of water to ensure you're genuinely hungry and not just thirsty. And the last and final tip to avoid late night eating is to engage in distractions. Keep yourself occupied with activities that divert your attention away from any food or any snacking. Engage in hobbies like reading a book or relax in the bathtub, or you can go on a peaceful stroll to prevent mindless snacking in the evening. But if you're still finding yourself genuinely hungry before going to bed, opt for a small nutritious snack that won't overload your system. Consider options like a piece of fruit with low sugar content, like blueberries or raspberries, a small portion of plant-based yogurt, or 3 to 4 walnuts with 1 date. It's sweet and savory, so it satisfies your sweet tooth, but the fat from the nuts can keep you feeling a little bit full. These choices provide some fullness without disrupting your sleep or adding too many unnecessary calories. So being mindful of our eating habits and scheduling our meals throughout the day, ensuring at least 2 to 3 hours between our last meal and our bedtime, is crucial in maintaining a healthy weight. By understanding how late night eating can affect our metabolism, our sleep quality, and our hormonal balance, we can make informed decisions to avoid gaining fat. Add these tips into your routine to prevent unnecessary weight gain, and I'm very confident you'll notice a difference in your sleep and in your waistline.